Hey guys, welcome to episode 64 of Learn That Solely. Today we're going to be looking at the Testament classic Over the Wall. Pretty win. Let's take a look. So the first section, I'm going to start off with a slide into 9 to the 3rd string. And then after that, I want to go 9, 10, 13, and then work my way back to 10, 9. Okay, so we're sort of working with a harmonic minor or sort of a Spanish Phrygian style scale. So 9, 10, 13, 10, 9, and then another 10, 9 at the end. So we'll go... That was the extra 10, 9, and then just add a bit of vibrato at the end of that. So let's try the whole thing thus far. Okay, then we work into this big rhyme. Alright, let's slow that down. The first 5 notes are going to be exactly the same as what we had. And then we end that little chunk, say of 6 notes, on 12 of the 4th string. Okay, now this next little bit has a really subtle, quick little shred in the middle. So what I'm doing here is I'm going 10, 9 on the 3rd string, and then I do a very, very quick 12, 10, 12, maybe it's just sort of a quick triplet. And then as soon as I hit 12 of the 3rd string, we sort of start to slow down again, if that makes sense. Sort of go... Notice that after that sort of quick little triplet-y thing, the rest of it's very 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the whole thing thus far, from this little run, I guess. Okay, and then when I hit 12 of the 3rd string, it goes. So what I'm going to hear is 9 of the 3rd string, and then 12, 10, 9 on the 4th. So the run thus far. Okay. Then after that, I want to go 12, 10, 9 on the 4th, and then to 12 of the 5th string. Okay. The next group goes 10, 9 on the 4th string, and then 12, 10 on the 5th. And then after that, we sort of change the mode slightly. I want to go to 9 of the 4th string, and then we go 12, 11. So we get that weird, almost Lamb of God-y style sound there. So what I'm doing there is I'm going from 9 of the 4th, 12, 11 on the 5th string, and then it goes 8, 7 on the 5th as well. So it goes... And I think there's a bit of a square there. With a bit more gain, it'll squeal a little more. So let's have a look at that, that little scaly thing a little slower. So let's just try the whole section. The start of the second section is going to be on 9 of the 3rd string again. What I'm going to do is do 2 sort of quick pick notes, and then on the 3rd pick, almost like a triplet, I'm going to squeal that note. And on the 3rd groove of that, I vibrato that sort of final squeal. So I'm going 1, 2. And then I just repeat that whole thing again twice. Then after that, I work my way into this sort of, I think it's like a dominant 7th sounding sweep. Let's slow that down, shall we? I want to start from 16 of the 3rd string. I use my ring finger because my pinky's a little bit strange, but you can use whatever finger you want. So I'm going from 16 of the third to 15 of the second, and then to 12 of the first. Okay, and then I hammer from 12 to 16, and then pull off back to 12, and then work my way back up the arpeggio. So I guess, in a way, we're going to end on 15 of the second string and start that again. And then again. It's pretty much exactly the same thing 4 times, but on the 4th one, I guess, instead of hitting 15 as a regular note, we're going to bend that on the second string. Sort of go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll kind of end on that pull off, and then just go for that bend. So the whole thing thus far from that little squealy bit. And then at the end of that section, we've just got 3 more notes. I slide into 10 of the 3rd string, and then play 9, and then 6. Alright, let's try the whole thing from the start of this section. Okay, 3rd section's pretty easy, and we do use it again later towards the end of the solo. So I want to start from 15 of the 2nd string, and then go to 14 of the 3rd string. So I go, and most of the time, the first half of this, we're going to return back to that 14 of the 3rd string. So I go, and then to 17 of the 2nd, and then back to 14 of the 3rd, and then 18 of the 2nd and 14 of the 3rd, and then to 17 again. We're going to do that whole thing twice, so I go. Okay, and then the next bit goes. So let's slow that down. I want to go 15, 17, 18, all on the 2nd string, and then end that little chunk on 17. Okay, and the next bit I'm back on 14 of the 3rd string, and then I want to go 15, 17, 14 on the 2nd string, sort of go. Let's try those 2 groups of 4 notes back to back. And then I just resolve that whole section on 15 of the 2nd string. So the whole idea goes. Let's take a look at the 4th section. I'm going to start with a bend on 13 of the 2nd string, and I'm going for sort of a pentatonic feel. So what I'm doing there is I do a bend on 13 of the 2nd, and then go to 10 of the 1st. And I'm doing a pull off from 13 to 10 on the 2nd, and then going to a big bend on 12 of the 3rd string. Okay? And then it goes into this little part. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing 2 picks on 10 of the 1st string, and I go to 13 of the 2nd as a bend, and then I do a hammer on it into a pull off, so it goes 10, 13, 10 on the 1st string, sort of go, and then after that I want to go, so there's 5 notes here. I'm doing a bend on 13 of the 2nd, the pointer on the 1st, bend again, back to the pointer, and then the bend, sort of go. So the whole phrase thus far a little slower. One more time. And it goes into this. So this kind of gets out of the blues thing. It's a little bit more diatonic, more sort of 3 notes, 3 fingers as string patterns. So what I'm doing at the start of this, all in one pick, very hammer on and pull offy, I'm going 12, 13, 12, 10 on the 1st string, and then as soon as I get to 10, I want to hammer back into 12 and pull off to the pointer, so I go. Okay, and then after that I go to the 2nd string, and I'm going to do a pull off from 13 to 11. Okay, now as soon as I get to that 11 with the middle finger, I want to hit it again for the start of, for the next chunk of that. So when I hit that 11, I want to hammer to 13, then pull off to 11, 10. And then I go to 12 of the 3rd, then down to 10 of the 2nd string rather, And then at the end of that I go into this. So what I've got there is a bend on 12 of the 3rd string up and back, and then I pull off to 10, and then I resolve that on 12 of the 3rd string with some vibrato. Okay, let's go from the start of this little chunk. Hope that makes sense. And then we work our way into the ending, which is this. Okay, this looks pretty fast and cool, but really, the whole phrase is very simple triplet ideas played kind of fast, and I just use my pointer, my middle, and my pinky for the whole thing. And the way that it rolls as well is almost like you're doing the same order. So I'll go through it slowly, and you'll just see it's relatively easy. I'm going 9, 10 on the 3rd string, and then 12 of the 4th. And then I play 9 of the 3rd again, but this time I play 10, 12 on the 4th. So it's nearly the same thing twice, just the middle finger comes up on the 2nd group of 3. Let's have a look at the next 2 groups of 3. I'm going 8, 10 on the 4th, and then 12 of the 5th. And then I play 8 on the 4th again, but this time the middle finger will come up again, and we're going to go 10, 12 on the 5th. So all together, let's try those 4 triplets back to back. And with exactly the same idea that we had on the 4th and the 5th string, we're going to do the same thing on the 5th and the 6th string. So I'm going to go 8, 10 on the 5th, and then 12 of the 6th, and then 8 of the 5th, and then 10, 12 on the 6th. So we've got 6 triplets, all played very similarly. And as I said, the whole time we're going pointer, middle, pinky. We do that exact same fingering 6 times in a row. You're just changing where the middle finger is and a bit of the stretch with the pointer finger. So the whole thing thus far of that group. Sounds a little boring slow, doesn't it? And then we go into this. So I slide in, do a quick alternate pick. I've got sort of 3 notes, a quick kind of triplet, and then I hit 12 of the 5th string. Okay, and then after that, I'm doing all down picks now. So do 3 quick down picks on the top string, and then 12 of the 5th, then 2 down picks on the top string, and then 12 of the 5th again, and then 1 pick on the top string, and then 12 of the 5th. So it goes. So I do 3, then 2, then 1. Okay, and at the end of that, I want to play 2 more of the top string and then squeal 12 of the 5th string. So I go. Okay, let's try it from that little run that we had before, and then we'll try the whole section. Alright, let's try putting the whole section together a little slower. Let's have a look at the 5th section. I want to start in a D minor style arpeggio from 17 to the 1st string. It's going to go. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a pull off from 17 to 13, and then I go to 15 of the 2nd string, and then back down to 13 of the 1st. And then after I hit 13 of the 1st, I just work my way up to the 3rd string with that arpeggio. So I go 13 of the 1st, 15 of the 2nd, 14 of the 3rd. Okay, and then after that I want to repeat the first 3 notes again. So I go, and those 3 notes again were 17, 13, and then 15 at the 2nd. So 17, 13, pull off on the 1st, and 15 at the 2nd. So all together. And then I go, so I go back to 17 at the 1st string and do a quick 3 notes, and it goes, okay, and then I work my way into this phrase. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 18, 17, 15 on the 1st string, and then I want to play 17, 15 on the 1st, and then go to 18 of the 3rd string, so it goes. And then I want to end that on 17 of the 2nd string, so I go that quick sort of 3 notes from the pinky. So the whole phrase thus far. And then it goes. So from the 2nd string now, this next little chunk goes 18, 17, and then 15, and then 17, 15 again. So I go, and then I want to resolve that on 17 of the 3rd string, and I hit that note twice. So it goes, so the whole thing thus far. Okay, then we go into this. Initially when I was learning this, it felt a little short, but I did it many times along with the song, and it started to make sense. So we've just hit 2 notes on 17 of the 3rd string, and we're going to kind of repeat sort of a similar thinking pattern that we had in group 4. So it goes. So what I'm doing here is I'm going 14, 15 on the 3rd string, and then 17 of the 4th, and then back down to 14 of the 3rd string again, and then we go 15, 17 on the 4th. Okay, now we hit 14 of the 4th string, and then we just bend up and back on 17 of the 5th. So that whole little chunk's a bit slower. Alright, let's go from the start of the section. We'll work our way into these sweeps. So, sounds a little wussy without the extra distortion, but once you've got it on, it will sound pretty cool. So, let's have a look at the first sweep. It's a minor, and then we've got a major, and then it just repeats that idea, minor, major again, up 2 frets. So the first one goes 12 of the 4th, and then 3 10s in a row, so I'm just rolling that pointer. So it goes 12, 10, 10, 10, and I do a hammer on into a pull off from 10 to 13 back to 10 on the 1st. Okay, and then to make it a major, we've just got to add in that major 3rd at the top. So now we're going to go 12, and then 11 of the 3rd string, and then 10, 10 on the first 2, and then I hammer from 10 to 14 and pull off back to 10 on the 1st. So we go minor, major, and they're both ending on just that pull off with the pointer, and then we've just got to re-establish the next sweep. Now I just want to take that whole idea up 2 frets and do the same thing there. So what I'm doing here is I'm going 14, 3 12s in a row, and then hammering to 15 into the pull off back to 12. Okay, and the major version of that was 14, 13, and then 2 12s, and then I hammer from 12 to 16 on the 1st string. So all together. And then at the end of that, I've got a big bend on 20. Okay, then at the end of that, I've got this kind of D minor sweep thing happening. I'm doing a pull off from 22 to 17, and then I hit 18 of the 2nd string, and then I've got a flat ring across 19 of the middle 2 strings, the 4th and the 3rd. So it'll go, and then I've got a pull off from 20 to 17 on the 5th. So it goes. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's put the whole section together from the first part of this, and we'll take it a little bit slower. Alright, so we've just come out of this D minor sweep. Section 6 is going to go back to section 3. So if you want to cross-reference back to section 3, you can. If you want, this is section 6. Okay, let's have a look at section 7. This is the very last one. We've just come from... Okay, after that we go into this octave melody at the end. So what I'm doing there is working with octave chords, which is just like a power chord, but we're using the octave, and the pinky just comes down one more string, if you're not already familiar with the concept. I'm on 5 of the 5th and 7 of the 3rd, and I just slide this octave chord up. So I'm going 5, 7, 8, 10, I'm just following my pointer. And then I go 12, 10, 8, 7. And I'm only hitting sort of 1 pick per 4 notes. At the end of it goes goes from 3 of the 5th string to 5 of the 6th, then 4 of the 6th string and 5 of the 6th, and then the end of it goes like this. It's 5 of the 5th, 5 of the 6th, and then to 6th of the 6th, and then to 1st of the 6th. The whole thing goes. And that's Over the Wall. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. It is epic. Be patient with it, and I'll catch you all soon. See ya.